But you can see I already got the drive shaft out. Working on the transmission right now. Took the inspection cover off. Got the torque converter bolts out. Through the little hole up there. If you know Dodge trucks, you know. Next is I'm working on this shift linkage. So there's a little bracket there on the driver's side frame rail. I believe those are 9/16. There's this bolt, it's 1/2 inch. That's for your shifter. For your automatic, there is that bracket. There's the starter. There's that bracket. And that is an 11/16 nut. There's no head to that bolt. It's welded into the bracket. This here comes out of this. I just used an adjustable pry bar, popped it right out. It's plastic, so be careful. This is your TV cable. That has to get disconnected from the transmission as well. And then we'll go from there. Alright, so I skipped a bunch of stuff. You gotta take out the trans cooler lines. You gotta take out the actual trans cooler, the big tube up there. You gotta make sure that your dipstick does not get caught up. Right along here there's electrical wiring. You gotta take that off. That's for the reverse lights and the, if I can get a picture of it, the neutral safety switch. There's that bracket for the shift linkage. When you take the transmission bolts out, you want to start at the top because those are going to be the hardest ones. You don't want to start at the bottom, get half of them done, and get stuck with just the top one. Do the hardest ones first. You get those done, it'll give you a little bit of encouragement. But I rented this jack. It is an actual transmission jack. It's about 33-inch lift. I put a couple of what are those, probably 5x4s or 4x4s or 6x4s under there. A ratchet strap. You can make adjustments here as you're coming down to tilt back. And it does come down nice and slow. You do want to make sure that it's coming down nice and slow so that you can make adjustments as it comes down. As far as I know, this is an original 727. I don't think there's been any transmission work done. Yeah, here she is. She's coming down. Peace of mind. You can see I likely have a rear main seal leak. So this is the bracket for the shift lever interlock. You can see where I ground away the rivets. This is the adapter that goes to the hard lines that feed the heater core. I ended up cutting this off. Alright, so I'm taking out that dreaded a sawzall coolant pipe that goes into a 3/4 the street elbow radiator hose, 5/8 adapter, 3/4 nipple. There's a link in the description. I just used a little bit of PB Blaster and probably 2 minutes of little teeny propane torch to break her free. And then I just used my Ackline spud crescent and some old tire jack handle I found sitting around as a cheater bar. I did have to take the alternator out. Pretty easy. You should know how to do that. Up next is getting that guy out. Alright, so you see that hole right there. I think there's actually supposed to be a bolt in there. I might have left it out when I did my AC compressor. But that is the bracket. It goes from the AC compressor to the coolant pipe flange. Here's the fitting I took out. I ended up sawzalling it off because this actually hits that bracket right there. Mine's a non-intercooled truck, so the intercooled guys might not have the same bracket. So what I did, see, it normally sits like this, is I turned it as far as I could and then cut it, then turned it again and cut it. So there's that. Now I just got to get this piece in there. Another reason to get it with no extra fitting is, look, it'll clear. Just to be safe, I did pop the radiator cap. You can see there's coolant flowing out there. It was a little bit of a gusher. There shouldn't be any metal shavings in there for sure now. Adjustable crescent. This bottom side always goes towards the direction you're tightening. Now if you have to, you can use it this way, but it is designed to go this way. The same is said for the adjustable pipe wrench. The bottom side always goes towards the way you're turning, whether you're tightening or loosening. Just make sure you're not untightening or unloosening, because that's like backwards. If it's on when the jaws all the way forward, when it goes back like this, it's going to be too loose. So just a little tip for you guys. I did get the new elbow in. As you can see, it's not thread all the way in. It doesn't have to be. It is a pipe thread. Pipe threads are tapered. They're meant to seal. I like to put the goop on just the first couple threads, because more likely than not, you are not going to get it all the way down. It's actually gooey now. That lets you know that you have a sufficient amount on there. You don't need to put loads and loads on there. First couple threads, 2-3 threads, make sure it's all the way into the bottom of the threads, wipe it off with my finger, call her a day. Alright, so there's the 1/2 inch plug you gotta do. There's the piece that came out. So I was having troubles. I was using a pipe wrench and it was cracking. So anyways, find a bolt that fits that, and then heat it and use PB blaster on it, and eventually it'll come. What I had to do was take off the thermostat housing. That's the 94 thermostat housing, as I mentioned before. You can see the alternator was already out, and then I had to take this other coolant pipe out so that I could have enough throw on the pipe wrench. Usually what I do is, if I can't use a screwdriver or a pick to get the hose off and it's really shot, I'll just cut it and I'll buy a new hose. Since I already have the salt, I think I'm going to touch this up a little bit. Just sand her down. I know that there's stainless steel pipes out there for this, but it's not a big worry for me right now. Stay motivated and get everything done I can. Yeah. I'll do her.